Hi yogis, welcome to today's yoga flow. I'm Nicole from My Yoga Time. Now I do have 2 blocks for this practice, but if you don't have blocks at home, you can always improvise with a thick book or even a rolled up towel. So when you're ready, we're going to start on our back, coming down into reclined butterfly, soles of the feet to meet, knees falling out. Of course, you could use your blocks or rolled up towel here to support those hips if you need. Either keeping the arms next to the body, or if the shoulders permit, take those arms above the head, holding opposite elbows with the hands. Feel free to close the eyes down and gently place the tip of the tongue where the teeth meet the roof of the mouth. Keeping the jaw soft, though invite a little tone through the back of your throat. Inhaling down into the hips, the thighs. Take a moment to pause when you get there. And as you exhale, relax the back. And if you catch your mind wandering in today's practice, just guiding it back to the breath. The breath moving the body. The inhalation creating space. The exhalation removing tension. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Remember to pause before you exhale. See if you can witness all 3 breaths without the mind chatter distracting you. On your next inhalation, bring those knees together, float the arms down. Take reclined pigeon right side, so right ankle to the left knee. Now you might choose to stay here depending on your knees and hips. Otherwise, we'll cactus arms, take the arms out to the side and raise the left leg. So reclined pigeon with no hands. Gently arch through the back, press down through your tailbone and try to send the right foot a little further to the left. Option to take chin mudra through the hands, connecting index finger and thumbs. Checking the position of your tongue. The softness in the jaw. Inhale. And exhale, lower left leg down. Interlace the fingers now behind the right thigh and press the leg into the hands, pull the hands into the leg. So you're creating resistance there. And again, arch the back a little. As you inhale, pointing the toes, and exhale to flex the foot. And release, well done. Changing sides, reclined pigeon left leg. Breathing into the outer hip. Lower right foot down. Let's take that hamstring stretch, pressing the leg into the hands, hands into the leg. Allowing the back to arch. Inhale to point the toes. Exhale to flex. And release. We're just going to cross at the ankles. Hold onto your big toes if you can reach, and we'll rock forwards and backwards, creating momentum to eventually come all the way up. Well done. So going to come over onto all fours. Take your right leg out to the side and walk your hands over to the left. So coming into your gate pose here. Of course, if you need your block underneath your left hand, you can place it there. So lining your left hand, left knee and right foot up, looking down, and begin to tuck the tailbone, allowing the back to round. You might choose to stay as you are, or a little movement with the breath, inhaling here. And as you exhale, take a seat, sweep the arm in front of the body towards the toes. Inhale to come back up. And exhale to flow. And holding it up this time. So you might choose to stay here, or for a little balance work, try to drag your left hand towards your left leg. Right fingertips to the ceiling and raise the right leg. Well done. Lower right foot down, right arm overhead again, rounding out the back. One more breath. And exhale to lower. So we'll bring that right leg in and we'll change sides. Option to stay as you are or begin to flow with your breath. Feel free to hold it here or testing your balance, left fingertips to the ceiling, raise the left leg. To help switch on your obliques, try to drag that right hand towards the right leg. Inhale and exhale, lower down. One more breath here. And then returning to all fours. Hands underneath the shoulders, we'll curl those toes under. Inhale into your back bend, and as you exhale, rounding out the spine and taking those hips up and back, downward facing dog. Holding here as you inhale. Exhaling slowly, knees to the mat. And holding this downward facing dog this time, pressing into the pads of the fingers, squeezing the heels of the palms towards one another, broadening the shoulders, sending your chest towards your thighs and your feet away from your hands. Let's take 3 out breaths through the mouth. Ha out the breath.
Center your left foot and inhale, raise the right leg, coming into a three-legged dog. So you might choose to stay as you are, otherwise lift the hip, bend the knee, point the knee up towards the ceiling, heel is close to the bottom, and flexing the foot. Imagine you're trying to kick something away. Take a deep inhalation here. And then straighten the leg, square the hips, and step that right foot through. Ground the left foot down on a very slight angle. Windmill those arms up, warrior two. So slight angle with that back leg. Press the feet away from one another and tuck your tailbone under. Take your drishti over your right fingertips. Inhale, leaning back. And as you exhale, take the elbow to the knee, left arm down, and then overhead. Option to take a mudra through your right hand. Continue to press those feet away from one another. Try to round out the back here as best you can. You might choose to keep the elbow on the knee or lower fingertips to the floor, or of course your block. So if that arm has come down on the inside of the leg, a little pressure there. Press the arm into the leg, leg into the arm. Keep scooping your tailbone under. One more breath into your side waist. And then take the left hand to the hip, stepping up into Ardha Chandrasana. So either with or without your block, place your right hand about a foot in front of your right foot. If you're feeling stable, float that left arm up. So tailbone tucking under here, lower belly engaged. And same as before in our kneeling variation, try to drag the right hand towards the right foot. Inhale. With an exhalation, lower down into your triangle pose. Again, press those feet away from one another. Try to point the tailbone down. We're going to take the left arm overhead. Look down if you're not already. Inhale. And exhale, lower both hands to the floor. Take a lunge. Move into a twist. So right arm up. Option to stay as you are or come into a side plank. You can float the right arm above the head, lift the hips, and try and turn the heel of the left palm in just a little. Inhale, and as you exhale, lower down into plank. Option, of course, to pop your knees on the mat. Otherwise, let's bring the body forward, round out the back. Try and brush the elbows to the ribs as you come all the way down. Then as you inhale, let's lift up the hands with the upper body. Squeeze the elbows back. Exhale to lower. Move via the knees. Return to plank. Downward facing dog. Center the right foot, inhale, left leg up. Open out the hip, bend the knee. Look under the armpit. Let's straighten the legs, square the hips and step through. Ground the back foot down for your warrior two. Windmill those arms up. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, side angle pose, right arm down and then overhead. So looking down, press those feet away from one another and try and round the back. Either staying there or lower that left hand down. Observe your breath. Option to step into Ardha Chandrasana, right hand to hip. Either with or without your block, take your left hand in front of the left foot. Inhale and exhale into your triangle pose. So try to turn your left heel in a little and your right heel out and tailbone down. Float the right arm above the head. Inhale and exhale, lower down into your twist, turning the right shoulder in towards the left knee. Either staying here or stepping into your side plank, roll to the outside of the right foot, stack left foot on top of the right. And let's return to plank. Either lower the knees or chaturanga coming down, all the way down to the mat. Same as before, let's inhale, take the hands up with the chest. Well done. Lower down, then just extend those arms out in front. Lift the heart and the head, try and pull the hands back. And let's lower. Hands under shoulders, return to your plank and your downward facing dog. Let's walk those feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale halfway up, bring a little back bend in here, so lifting heart and tailbone. Exhale to fold. Reverse swan dive. And bring those hands to prayer. So you might choose to have your blocks close by for the next flow, just in case you need them. So option one, depending on hips and knees, just come down into your chair pose. So squeeze those heels in, lower down for your chair. Otherwise, coming into your eagle pose. Raise the left leg and cross it over the right. So you could use your block for balance there if you need. Otherwise, wrapping the foot around the calf. Press those thighs together, tailbone down. Let's float the arms out. And then cross the right arm over the left. So any concerns with your right shoulder, you might keep that right arm straight. Otherwise, bend that elbow and take your full bind. So forearms and legs are both pressing into one another. Well done. Let's inhale to lift up, hands to the hips, raise that left knee, and step the left leg back 1 meter, 45-degree angle. Stretch the mat with your feet, press those feet away from one another. Raise your left arm up, and as you exhale, fold forward. Let's stop halfway, spine parallel to the floor. Right hand can guide the right hip back. So you might even see your right heel turn in just a little there. On your next exhalation, lower down. So option one, you might use your block on the inside. Option two, if you can comfortably place your left hand on top of the right foot, do so. So again, let's press the feet away from one another. Turn the right heel in and the left heel out. Either staying here, or if it feels okay, you can turn your left shoulder in and float your right arm up. Check in with the breath. If you can't breathe, you've gone too far. Inhale and exhale. Let's lower down. Step it back into plank. We'll take a flow. Option to take your cobra or your upward dog. So if you're taking your upward facing dog, just hover 1 inch above the floor, roll over the toes. Legs are off the floor, just your feet and your hands. Return to plank and downward facing dog. Walk those feet to the top of your mat. Inhale and exhale. So if you know you need your blocks, have them close by. Or when you're ready, reverse swan dive. Hands to the heart. Other side now, raise the right leg, cross it over the left. Press the thighs together, tuck the tailbone under. Take the left arm on top of the right. And let's release. Right foot behind you 1 meter, 45-degree angle on that back foot. Press the feet away from one another, right arm up, fold forward. Inhale. And exhale, lower down. So either keeping your hand on the inside of the foot, find your block, or take your right hand on top of your left foot. Left hand guides the left hip back. Right shoulder turns in and float your left arm up. Inhale and exhale, lower down. Step back into your plank. Rounding out the back, squeezing the elbows in as you lower, either all the way down and find your cobra, or roll over the toes, upward facing dog. Return to downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up and look forward. Bring that left knee to the left wrist, pigeon pose. Extend the right leg behind you. So if this position is not an option for you because of your knee or your hips, you can lean off to the left and bend both legs. So right thigh, left shin are parallel to one another and the short side of the mat, and you've created a right angle through the backs of both legs. If you're in this position, you'll fold forward a little off to the left. You can always use your block for support. If you're in your full pigeon, let's find an inward rotation through that back leg, and be sure to have a little squeeze behind this left knee. So you might choose just to fold forward in the center. You can make a pillow or fist with your hands, or of course you could use your block. Or if you'd like to bring in another twist, line the block up to rest your ear and we'll thread the needle. Take the right arm underneath the left. Left fingertips can stay on the mat, or you can take that arm behind you to the lower back, or even take a hold of your big toe if you can reach it. An option to take chin mudra through your right hand. So keep a little tone behind that left knee. Almost feel like you're trying to squeeze the knees towards one another. And when you're ready to release, coming all the way up. Return to your downward facing dog. Feel free to walk out the legs or bend the knees, swing the hips. When you're ready, we'll change sides. Right knee to the right wrist. You might find you need to do a slightly different variation from one side to the other depending on potential injuries, so do work with your body and not against it. So again, you might choose to bend both legs. No risk of twisting in the knee with that variation. If you are here, keep a little tone behind that knee. Inward rotation through that back leg. Either folding straight down or option to thread the needle. And follow your next inhalation out of the pose. Lifting up into your last downward facing dog. Feel free to walk out those legs, swing the hips. When you're ready, just briefly bring those knees down and we'll come down onto our forearms. So have those elbows underneath your shoulders. When you're ready, lift those hips up, find your dolphin pose, and try to send your armpits towards your legs. From here, just step those feet away, lower down into your forearm plank, tucking the tailbone and rounding the back. And let's lower down. Extend those arms in front just as we did before. Lift the heart, try and pull the hands back. And lower down. Well done, yogis. Let's spin over onto our back. So bring those heels as close to the bottom as you can. Press the feet down and away. Squeeze the heels in. Let's tuck the tailbone and lift those hips up into your bridge pose. So you might choose to keep the palms next to the body, interlace the fingers, tuck the shoulders under, or bend the elbows, take the hands to the side waist. If you're in this position, feel free to lift the right heel, press into the left foot as you raise the right leg. Firm down through those arms and the back of the head. If you raised your right leg, let's change sides. And release. Let's pick up those heels and lower down one vertebrae at a time. When you touch down, cup those hands over the knees, arms as straight as you inhale, bend the elbows when you exhale. If you need longer with this motion, please take it. Otherwise, we'll lower those feet to the floor. Take the hands underneath your bottom and straighten those legs. Big toe knuckles touching and press through the balls of your feet, flare out the toes. Step the elbows in to the ribs so your shoulders should hunch up near your ears here. We're going to bend the elbows and lift the upper body off the mat and then drop the head back. So there's no weight on my head, it's all in my arms. I invite you to take a lion's breath here. So inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, sticking out the tongue, eyes wide. We'll do 3 of those. Well done. Press down through the arms, tuck in the chin, and lower down. Release those hands. Bending in the knees now. We'll finish with a twist before shavasana. Cross your left leg over your right leg. Move your hips just a touch to the left and then bring the knees down to the right. Of course, you can always place your block if you've got one close by underneath your knees. Arms out to the side. And if it feels okay for your neck, move the back of the head to the right and then turn your head to the left. Breathe into your lower belly, your lower back. Option to take your mudra once again. Let's inhale those knees back to center, uncross the legs, shift the hips a little to the right and changing sides. Inhale those legs back to center, uncrossing the legs, and we'll move into shavasana. Tucking the shoulders under and letting the palms face the ceiling. Option to take your mudra once again. And closing the eyes down and softening the forehead, the tongue and jaw. So I'll leave you here today, yogis. Please do take a few minutes in shavasana to allow the positive effects of your practice to assimilate in the body. I hope you enjoyed the practice. If so, please do subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support free yoga on YouTube. Have a lovely day.